Hello and welcome back to the Hunter Classic. So today we're here on Val-Des-Bois for another uncut video, which we haven't done in quite a long time. And we've got a smallish red deer male and also a red deer female that is staring at us right here. So we'll take the male first and then see if maybe we can get the female on the run. I've got the 340 Weatherby. Sounds like there were multiple females. We'll just try to take this one since we can see it and know where it should be going. That's that one. Well, that went a lot better than I thought it would. I didn't even know that second red deer was there. But yeah, I didn't have a ton of time to record today, so I thought I would go with an uncut video, especially since I haven't done one in so long. But I was going to do White Rime Ridge, just because that's pretty much a guaranteed like 8 to 12 kills in about 30 minutes. But I ran a Twitter poll and you guys voted for Val-Des-Bois, so I decided we'd come here since that was what you guys wanted. It was a pretty good margin as well. It wasn't like even close to what White Rime Ridge got for votes. But we've got a intestine stomach shot on this red deer. And this one was probably similar, maybe a little better. That was actually spine one and neck bone too. I thought we were lower on that. But speaking of Twitter, if you guys are not following me over there, I just randomly post stuff all the time. It's not very serious at all, at any point really. It's just a bunch of joking around with followers and anybody really that tweets back to me. So if you want to just interact with me in any way, you can just hit me up on Twitter. I pretty much respond to everything. As far as I know, I don't just leave anything because there's just less people over there, so it's easy to keep up, at least at the moment. 134 scoring red stag to start off with, and there's a brown bear. Let's just spot that and walk a bit closer. Female. I did get a different monitor, so things might look slightly different. It's a 4K monitor, but I'm still playing in 1080p because I can play in 4K, but I can't record. Bandicam has horrible FPS drops when I do that. So we're still in 1080p, but I think it actually does look better on this monitor than the other one. And this monitor is a bit narrower. This one I think is 28 inches, and the other one was 32, I think. So that may explain why I think it looks a bit better. But for me, it definitely does just look a bit more detailed, especially things at distance, and animals especially. I seem to be able to see more details with the fur. I noticed that on those red deers. I was looking at them as they came in, so I think it looks better. Let me know what you guys think if it does look any different than the old videos. The color might be different, because obviously I couldn't coordinate the color exactly the same, but I tried to get it close, and I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever be uploading in 4K. I could record in 1440p, but it felt laggy to me. It felt very framey. I was running at 60 FPS, but it felt very, very laggy to me. I don't understand why, but it definitely seemed different, so maybe you guys actually know the answer to that. Didn't I say female? Because this is a male. 22.7. I must have just read that wrong, because that was definitely a male. And we evidently spooked a roe deer in this direction. So another thing that happened recently is the bobcat release. They're one of my favorite new species that have been released recently. I prefer them above pretty much all the new sheep and stuff. I'm not counting like the timber gold species because I still like Rocky Mountain elk better, I think, but I've really enjoyed hunting the bobcat. I just wish they could have been released during the summer so I could put more time into it, because to be completely honest, I'm really only playing the Hunter Classic, or the Hunter Call of the Wild for that matter, if I'm recording. I just don't have much time to do anything these days. I record my videos, do a bit of whatever gaming otherwise, but other than that, I'm either at work or at school pretty much any other time that I'm awake. So I don't play this much, and I haven't gotten to do a lot of bobcat hunting. It was, I think, every bobcat that I've harvested so far has been on video. There was the initial video I did with them, and then the Road to 100. We had a couple of more. I don't think I had any other than those. So yeah, just not much time for me to do really anything too specific. And I wanted to do a couple of other things with the channel and with certain types of videos that I just don't know if I can do at least not till maybe spring semester when things might change a bit for me. We'll try to call in this female red fox, and this one was a female. I actually paid attention this time. But yeah, I didn't have as much to talk about this time, but as I said, I didn't have a ton of time to record, so I wanted to go with an uncut video. So I might just talk about what's actually going on in the hunt a bit more than normal, which I'm sure you guys probably won't mind. But I did wear the Boone and Crockett camo, mostly because I was expecting to get red deer and roe deer, so we do need to be a bit more careful with this red fox. I'm going to go prone once we get on the land over here, and then we'll just use the 223. I think the camo for that looks a bit more defined than what I remember as well on the other monitor, but again, that may just be the difference in width, because that naturally does make a bit of a difference. You've got like larger area with the same amount of pixels basically. That looked to be a gray fox, and now it looks to be, okay, there must be two of them. This is probably the one that we heard, female 13 to 20. I'm hoping to at least see that other one because it was walking, although I didn't think it looked notably large. I'd like to at least get eyes on it and make sure it's not huge, although it's not looking like that's going to happen. This female is pretty close, and I don't even see that other one, so we'll just take the female and maybe check the tracks, although I don't really see it likely that I'd track it anyway, even if it is max weight. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to hit that. Too far away, and even if I do hit it, I don't feel like tracking it. But we'll maybe at least go see if that would have been worth going after. Heart shot, 16.7 scoring female. Not too bad, and 4 harvests in the first, like, 6 minutes, I think. Not bad for an uncut video. Yeah, actually, I'm not even going to go over and check the tracks, because I don't want to know if it was a big one, because, as I said, I don't think I'm going after it regardless, so we'll just head over here to where we're a bit more likely to run into red deer. But some more of the hunter news. The Call of the Wild next map was just announced as we spook a red deer female, I think that was. We'll see if she actually... She might just stop in view since she ran back towards us. We'll just walk up here. I imagine she'll be stopped somewhere, but they announced that they're going to have a Siberian map as the next map in Call of the Wild. And I can't remember every species off the top of my head, but I know there were reindeer, wild boar. Those are the only two I'm immediately thinking of. I believe there was another new one, at least one other new one. There was moose as well. I can't seem to think of any of the other species, really. Oh, brown bear, that was the other major one that I remember seeing. So that's going to be really cool. I kind of hope that it's similar to White Rime Ridge in that you have your tracks that you leave behind just in the snow. But obviously with Call of the Wild, it should be able to just leave those trails everywhere you go, not just for like 10 feet behind you and then disappear. So I'm really hoping that is implemented, because I've wanted to see that in Call of the Wild ever since Call of the Wild came out, and we already had White Rime Ridge in Classic, of course. So that is the main thing, to be completely honest, that I'm hoping for with that. It was something taiga. I don't even know how to pronounce it regardless. If I did know the first part of the name of the reserve, but it was definitely taiga. Just got a random eagle feather. But I think, yeah, I want there to be deep snow, which you can leave tracks in. And I guess it doesn't even have to be that deep, just as long as you're leaving a trail through the snow. I think that'd be really, really cool. And I'm hoping to see some good-sized reindeer, because I think they're going to probably be the highlight of the map for me, because as I've always said, with any of the hunting games, anything with big antlers is something that I'm more than happy to chase after. So we've had moose in Leighton Lake. These are going to be technically a different type of moose because they're European. I think there's some type of difference there, but I imagine it's going to be very, very similar, if not the exact same. So I'm probably mainly going to be after reindeer. One thing I might start doing very, very soon is playing some more Call of the Wild to level up, just in case like the reindeer collar requires a higher level than I currently am, which is, I think, 39. So I'll at least try to get to 40, maybe 42 before that's released. I don't know that they said a official release date, on that, but they did say, I think it's sometime in October, the console release of Call of the Wild. I think maybe around the 16th. That may just be a random date in my head. Actually, that's when my fall break starts, so that might not be right at all. But it's definitely sometime in October that there is the console release of the Hunter Call of the Wild, so that's going to be pretty interesting, and I think good for them, because a lot of people just couldn't run it on a PC. It was as simple as that, and we just spooked. I think that's a roe deer. Might be a good male. I want to spot that. That looked fairly decent. It doesn't look that big from behind, though. Yeah, 95 to 150. Not going to worry about it again with the 223. If I'd have had a better rifle, I would have at least taken a shot at it, but with the 223, it's probably not worth my time. We've gotten 5 harvests already, so I think we can pass up shooting at a roe deer and probably having to track it longer than it would be worth going after. But back to the Siberian map, I think I'm going to play a good bit of Call of the Wild, especially when that comes out. You can expect probably a good 5 to 10 videos just specifically on that map, because I think that's going to be a really, really cool environment to hunt in. And we just spooked another animal, smallish red deer stag. These guys are just really good at hiding, apparently, than just seeing me running along. Maybe I should pay a bit more attention to the sides. That's one thing that I don't do enough in the Hunter Classic while I'm moving around. Not even just running, it's when I'm walking and crouching. I just look straight ahead. I don't do enough looking to my left and right. And I'm sure that I've missed plenty of opportunities for rares and trophy animals because of that. But I think I've still had my fair share probably from, I guess, calls and stuff. And maybe that's why I'm such a fan of crouch walking and just walking along through the reserves, because I get calls from my sides, and maybe someone who really pays attention to their sides could get away with running a bit more. We'll take out this stag, our best one so far. Although he's not anything special, 175 to 200. That's a ton of roe deer. I saw like 4, I think, at least. I thought maybe even more than that, but we might actually run into them because there's pretty much nothing but cliffs in front of where they're going. So as long as they stop up there, because naturally when they're out of render, the terrain itself doesn't matter. They can go through anything, but as long as they're in render when they hit that cliff, it's really going to stop them and force them down to the left, which is where we're headed. We'll grab our, I guess, decent red deer stag. He should be like 180s or 190s, and then we're going to stay pretty much head directly towards that ground blind and go from there and see if we run into those roe deer. We should have spooked at least that one red deer female that called as well, and hopefully there was maybe a stag with her. If we can get caught up to him, if he even exists. Neckbone 3 and 196.6 score. Not too bad. Actually quite enjoying doing this uncut video. It's been so long, probably a good 5 to 6 months. I know I didn't do any during the summer, and I'm not sure how long before summer started I didn't do any, but that would have been at least 5 months, I think. So definitely been a long time since I've gotten to do this, so I imagine my throat's gonna hurt after doing this because I'm not used to talking for pretty much 30 minutes straight, but that's alright. This is the stag that we had a track from back there, which I think is actually the one that we spooked. The one that we saw going off to the right when I started talking about looking to the sides. Let's see if these roe deer or even the red deer are anywhere around here. Not seeing anything up to the right, so maybe they... Oh, they are down here actually. I'm gonna hope that guy doesn't start running. I saw the one off to that side's running, but these ones seem to be just hanging out, so there's actually a red deer there. That's probably the female we heard call, and we got others rendering in, so let's at least walk forward to see if there's going to be a stag with those females. And if not, we'll take the roe deer buck. Not seeing any others rendering in, so never mind. We'll take the stag then, just because we have the 340, and I'd prefer to use that on a stag than using the 223 on a roe deer, just because the roe deer is probably going to run at least a little bit. And I don't think that roe deer was anything special, and of course neither is this red deer. Bit of a high shot, but even a body shot, he's not going to go far. So of course, I did what I didn't want to do with the roe deer on the red deer, which I guess is going to happen every now and then, but as I said, even a body shot, I don't think he's going far, and I thought we should have taken him through the spine there, but clearly we didn't. I didn't want to take forever lining up the shot, because I still have really, really bad internet, so I can't upload a really, really long video, and I'd like to get as many harvests in like a 30-minute, roughly, time period as possible, but my game's freezing, there we go. We are just now approaching 20 minutes, and we're further along the river than I thought we'd get in 30, so I guess that's a good thing. Let's try to spot this roe deer. He's definitely not anything special, but maybe we can at least get a score estimate on him. Or maybe we can't. We'll just go for a shot. I don't really know. I guess we'll just go for the back of the head. Oh, it actually worked. I thought we'd end up with just body and having to track him, but he dropped out there. Somewhere in there. Let's see if we can get on this red deer stag's blood then. That might be it. I'm not actually sure. I did have him marked, but then I just marked that roe deer, so I think this is where he went, where this next track is, so this should be right. But as long as we can find the stag and we have that roe deer out there, that puts us at 7 or 8 harvests so far, and we should be able to get at least another 1 or 2, so we might be able to get 9 or 10 in this roughly 30-minute hunt, if that's how long it ends up being, so that would be pretty decent. I've not seen any blood from this guy, but the time would indicate that this would be the right one. I do think he'll go down from that shot, which apparently is body since there's no other blood. Of course, with the lung shot, I think he would have dropped, but if he doesn't go down, I'm probably going to leave him. If we get roaming tracks and then fleeing again, I would say he's not going to go down, because basically with a gunshot, they're either going to survive it and keep walking or lay down pretty much once they stop running. Is how they tend to react, so we'll see what we have. But basically, if I end up with roaming tracks that turn into fleeing again and there's no blood between them, that's basically when I know I'm going to need another shot or it's time to give up in this case. But I'm not seeing any more tracks, so I wonder if he's actually down back here and I missed it. That's definitely a possibility. And I'm not even seeing anything now. In which case I may just leave him. We could actually run into him, as I think we're going to head somewhat in that direction after we go and grab the roe deer. I'll just go down here. And he's actually laying down there. And he just died as we got down here. That was perfect that we lost the tracks. And there's actually another red deer that we can take a shot at from here. Let's just go for lungs this time instead of body. If I can get lined up. I need to change my mouse sensitivity just slightly, I think. Although I've played with this same sensitivity for forever now, and I guess I'm used to it. So 162 score, and that was a body shot. We'll go out and grab this red deer female, and then I think what we'll end up doing, since we're down here this far, is probably fast traveling back to the North Lodge and just kind of heading in the direction that we did to start with, which was, of course, just south along the river. We'll see what we maybe missed out on or spooked that came back in that direction. There's bound to be something. I just hope we can run into it, and that it's close enough to the lodge to hit in the next 10 minutes roughly. We should get at least one more animal out of that. I'd rather do that than going up through the trees here, pretty much northwest of us. I think that would be better for the running gun style that we're kind of going for. So I think we will do that after we get this red deer and roe deer. I'm actually quite impressed with the 223 though, that it took down that roe deer. I'm thinking it was neck bone, because I was a bit lower than I would expect a brain shot to be, but we'll find out. And speaking of brain shot, I've not gotten to do any brain shot challenges recently, or the heart shot challenge, which a lot of you guys did want me to do, but a lot of the stuff that I've been recording is something I can get done relatively quickly, and those videos tend to take a bit longer. And maybe if I did it on a map like Val-Des-Bois, like I did the last brain shot challenge, it would be a bit easier because there are more animals you can run into. But when you're trying to get like 10 of one or two species as compared to every species on the map you can hunt, it tends to make it a bit more difficult and take a bit longer. And there's a couple other videos I'd like to do if I could just get more time to actually record them. And speaking of that, I'm not sure if there's going to be a Sunday video this week. If there is, what I think it's going to end up being is actually just kind of highlights of me grinding Rocket League for the next rank, which would be Champion. Their new update is dropping September 28th, and I've basically got until then to reach Champion, or I won't get the season, I think we're in Season 5, rewards, which is, I think, just a name banner, which would actually be kind of cool. But yeah, I might do that. I don't think it's going to be super, like, I'm not going to be doing a ton of commentary, because naturally I play worse when I'm commentating, and I might even get someone else to play with me and just have basically our communication as the commentary for that video. And I don't even know, sometimes when I do play with others, it ends up just being without any voice chat, but we'll see. But yeah, I have a physics test on Thursday, which of course is the only day that I usually have off, and that's when I record 2 or 3 of my videos for the week, and I'm going to get at most 1 done for that. So I'm recording this Monday night, and it's going up Tuesday at 3 p.m. So Tuesday I'll record 1 video, that'll be Thursday's video. Thursday I'll record 1 video, that'll be Saturday's video, and then maybe somewhere in between or multiple nights I'll be able to record that Rocket League kind of thing, and that's if I end up doing that. That'll probably be the video for Sunday, because I just can't see myself having time to do anything else. But that is something that I tend to do. It's something I can do kind of late night and not have to worry about it so much. I don't have to do something like this where I'm talking a bit louder than I would, I think, if I was doing just voice communications, playing Rocket League. And it's something that I have been asked to do more since the first video. I've just not gotten around to it. I wanted to do some actual competitive Rocket League content anyway, so I think that might be a good way to do it, but we shall see. But back to the hunter, we have another animal, this roe deer female, wherever she went. There she is. I think we can probably get lungs from this distance, if we can find a place to go prone anyway. I guess we're not getting up that hill anytime soon. We'll just go over here and go for it. Let's try to line this up and not get a body shot. Wow, dropped her. I don't think they've tweaked the 223 at all. They haven't that I know of. We spooked more roe deer. Both females, so not going to worry about it. So have we missed any shots yet? I don't remember. If not, there's 8 with the 340 and 3 with the 223. I'm trying to remember if we missed, because 11 harvests already seems like more than I would have thought. We've still got about 5 minutes, so if that's accurate, we probably have the most harvest for an uncut video that I've ever had. I can't remember ever having more than 10 in one uncut video. At least for Val-Des-Bois. White Rime Ridge, I think we've had at least 12. But even still, we might even have a chance to beat that. But the last thing that I wanted to address, and the reason that I waited for the end, is because I feel like it's going to apply to more of you guys that are still here at this point, is that archery season is now less than 2 weeks away, and I spent a good majority of my Sunday evening hanging a new tree stand, and if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw me replying to somebody mentioning archery season, saying that I just hung that set, and as I said, I am literally in love with that spot. I've never had a tree stand that I just like the spot so much. The cover's perfect, the area it should be relatively I don't want to say easy shots, because that's just jinxing myself to miss what is probably going to be a 20-yard shot or less, but basically I should be set up on the trail for them to be around 20 yards, and I've got cover from them no matter which way they go, or no matter which way they come from. So I'm really, really excited about that. That's not a bad brown bear. Why are we actually making such good shots? Usually when I do uncut videos, I completely mess up my shooting and have to end up tracking more than I would like, but I'm not going to complain about that. But as I was saying, I have that set, and I think I may have actually mentioned on Twitter about the other one as well, which is an old set, and it's actually a tree stand that me and my dad built out of plywood and 2x4s and whatever else pretty much that we could scrounge up. But that stand has walls on it, and a raccoon apparently took up residence in there and basically pooped everywhere, to put it lightly. And I am really, really happy about that, which, if you're maybe watching this and not a hunter, you may wonder why I'd be so happy that raccoons are just pooping all through my tree stand. But basically, that's the best natural cover scent I could ask for, and it smells really, really strong up there. But of course, you get used to it as you sit there, so it's not something that affects you really for more than maybe 5 minutes of hunting, and you just get really, really good cover scent. And that's another set that I'm really, really looking forward to. Both of those have cornfields right by them, so I'm super, super psyched about early season archery season. Saying season twice in the same sentence, I'm that excited. Usually I'm more excited about the rut, but I really, really like my chances early season this year. And I think now that we at least might be on 13 harvests for the hunt with this brown bear, we might just end it here, because he is a decent bear. Get a max score of 26. He's probably our best animal of the hunt. That's a female roe deer anyway, so I think we will end it with this guy. Pretty much at 199 meters, went intestine to left lung. Not that big at 22, actually. He might even be smaller than the other one we had, but a brown bear is always a decent way to end it, because at least I don't know, brown bear is always, to me, I'll take a small brown bear over a small red deer is what I'm trying to say, because at least you don't have the dinky little antlers of the red deer. Brown bear can still look cool even if it is kind of smallish. So I'll try to set this up and not take too long, because it's probably not too much fun to just watch me toss a ragdolling brown bear everywhere. I really, really wish they'd add fur to their faces, though. I don't know if that's intended. I can assume that it is, because it's been, I don't know how long like that, but I just don't think it looks good. Really, I'm not a fan of that, but I suppose there are other things that are much more important, such as selecting the right trophy shot pose, which I think we're going with this one. Actually, we'll go with casual, because with that cowboy hat, you can't really see the sunglasses very well in any of the lower poses. And I'm going to move the brown bear just a bit. Something like that. I do think that will work. So we may have set my personal record for uncut video harvest. I think we're at 13. I really can't remember missing any shots. The only animals I can think of that we shot at that were running were those red deer females, and we dropped them both. So I'm pretty sure that is a record-breaking hunt for me, which is pretty cool. No monsters, but definitely a lot of harvest, which is just a bonus when I'm doing these uncut videos, because a lot of times I'm just trying to talk about things, which, to be fair, in this one wasn't so much the case. I did want to get a lot of harvest, so I'm really glad it worked out this way. So that is going to wrap up this video. Let me know in the comments, actually, if you guys would like to see that Rocket League thing that I mentioned, because, as I said, I really don't see any other Sunday video, but if you guys would like to see something else specifically that you think maybe wouldn't take that long, let me know, and maybe it's just something I've completely overlooked, and I can do that. But with that, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, and I'll see you in the next one.